Still renting? Want to buy a house, but have no idea where to start? That was me 6 years ago. I was sitting on this exact couch right here. I was in my third rental after being divorced. My 13-year-old had already had to switch schools after we moved from one end of town to the next. My oldest was at UNH. My second oldest had just gotten into UNH, and they came to me and told me their dad had decided to move back to Massachusetts and they were going to lose their in-state tuition. So here I am, I'm in my third rental in Massachusetts and have no idea where we're going, what we're going to do, but I knew that I had to fix this. Obviously, the first thing in my mind was we need our own home. I'm tired of moving from place to place. I hadn't had a home since I was married. I am very grateful for the rentals I did have. I had friends who always had my back, and somehow we managed to always be in a good place. I made the decision right then that I was gonna buy a house. I know there are a lot of people you're in circumstances where you think that's impossible, but I'm gonna tell you it is possible. The first step is deciding that that's what you wanna do. I just put it in my head that no matter what, I was gonna buy a house. That same day, I opened Facebook and a friend of mine was selling his second home that he had been renting. He had lost the renters that he had in there, and was looking to sell the property. Now, I was not in any place to buy a home at that time, but it was in Salem, New Hampshire, right on the Mass border, so it was still gonna be easy to get the kids back and forth to their father's home. This could be a good opportunity. I was nervous about reaching out, but I figured, what do I have to lose? Honestly, I'm sitting in this townhouse. It's not a good situation for any of us, and I have to figure this out. So the worst that he can say is no. I sent him a message and said, hey, I am not in any position to buy the house. Would you consider renting it to me in the hope that I can buy it in the future? Well, the house was under contract at that time, but if anything changed, he would let me know. A few weeks later, he calls me up. That deal fell through. Are you still interested in renting? I was so excited. Of course, he takes me to see the house. It was the first time that I felt like we were home. It didn't matter how big it was. He wanted me he told me, rent the place before you make any decisions on buying it. You know, we talked about a price. I knew that I just had to keep going. I knew I was not in a situation where I could buy at that time, but I knew I was on my way there. So for the next year, I actually spent time in a program that was supposed to help with down payments, lower income families, all this stuff. That was my first mistake, that I did not ask questions. I wasted a year of time, and of course, most of you know the market can change drastically in a year. I spent a year going to meetings, filling out paperwork, wasting my friend's time, who, you know, was generous enough to rent the property to me, and I was eventually denied because at that time I had co-signed my own student loans, all my boys' student loans, and my debt to income ratio was enormous, and I thought that that's why I was denied. Thinking back now, I believe that the program was a Massachusetts run program and I was buying a home in New Hampshire. A friend of mine told me, there's no way you can't get a loan. If I got a loan, you can get a loan. She gave me the number of the bank that she used. I called her lender, and a month later we closed on the house. Step one, stop telling yourself that you'll never own a home. If I can do it, you can do it. Step two, know your credit score. Check it regularly. Apps like Credit Karma will tell you little things you can do to improve your credit. And step three, talk to the bank. A good lender will tell you, hey, you're not here. You're not where you need to be in order for me to approve you, but here's what you need to do for us to get you there. So never give up. Keep working towards that goal. Take one step at a time.